Hello and welcome back to the only show with more trailer talk than a John Deere salesman. I'm Max,
I'm Matt.
I'm Luke.
and this is Force for Thought. All right, hello and welcome back. We got a lot to talk about today. We are taking a little break from our Mandalorian rewatch to discuss The Mandalorian and Grogu. Got a little teaser release as well as a poster drop, and I am excited about both of them, and I want to talk about them one at a time, starting with the poster. Then we'll get into the trailer as well as some oddly specific predictions that I have for this movie. But I do want to start with the poster because I actually feel pretty strongly about it. It is... in my opinion, not the best poster, and I don't think it's going to be considered the most iconic poster, but I do think that it is my favorite Star Wars poster of all time. It is very vibrant and colorful and chaotic, and it reminds me a lot of the Bronze Age era of comics. It's very, stylized, which I appreciate. And it just kind of has that kind of chaotic feel. You look at it and you don't really know where your eyes are supposed to go, but you just kind of keep wandering around and seeing different things that you like. It feels a little lazy, and we'll kind of talk about that. When it came out, Matt, you texted that the picture of Zeb looks like it's just a still from him from the Mandalorian TV show that we already saw. So it's like they're not even picking like a new still of him from this movie to use in it. Is that a predictor of things to come? Maybe. We'll talk about it a little bit more when we get into the trailer. We also get a little bit of the Hutt twins in this poster as well, which I was excited about. You don't hear me usually giving praise to the Book of Boba Fett or some things from it, but there are a lot of good things that were in that show, and I was excited to see that the Hutt twins were on the poster, and we're going to see how that plays in with Rada the Hutt obviously being a main character. Well, I shouldn't say main character, but he'll at least be a character in The Mandalorian and Grogu. And it has me excited for any other people that might show up as well. My train of thought went down Book of Boba Fett, so I thought maybe Cad Bane can pop up, maybe Black Chrysanthemum could pop up. I think Black Chrysanthemum is a real possibility. I would love to see him again. But yes, all that's to say, I actually really like the poster. I'm probably going to get it and hang it up in my basement. I like it quite a bit. Luke, what do you think?
I like it a medium amount. It feels like, it was obviously made for the teaser trailer that we just saw, but I can't help but feel like it is a very random assortment of characters. Like, I don't think that the twins are going to be poster characters, especially when Rada's not on the poster. I know that they're going to save a lot of reveals, but I imagine Bo-Katan is going to be in this show, in this movie, a good deal. I would imagine more than Zeb or the twins. Same with several other characters. I haven't seen the show, I haven't seen the movie, and so I obviously don't know anything. I just don't think that Zeb is going to be a main character in this movie, and I'm surprised to see him on the poster. I had the same thought that was just the exact same image from season 3 that I had seen on every fan poster for the last 3 years since season 3 came out. And so that made it feel like a fan poster, and it would have been pretty easy to work around that because I don't think that they are just taking... Well, no, I think they definitely are. These are just still images from the movie that they're photoshopping onto a poster and putting that filter on it to make it look a little bit more artistic and stylized, which isn't a horrible approach. I'm not saying I need my posters to be hand-drawn and more artistically created. I think it looks good, but it makes the characters look like just the shots from the movie, which bums me out. I like the idea of it, like you were saying, the stylization of the font and the poster as a whole, the starring section. I think that's cool. I like the idea of playing into Grogu as himself for the whole, for everything, the junkets and everything leading up to it. I think that'll be fun. The biggest gripe I have with it is if you're searching for a new adventure, quote, this is the way. That feels. I don't like that tagline. I get that this is the way is a big thing from The Mandalorian. It just seems like they're. I don't know. I don't know. I don't love that. It feels lazy or amateurish. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't disagree with anything that you're saying other than your conclusion. I just like, yeah, I love that. Like I said, like the words, all of these words, like if you're searching for a new adventure, this is the way. Like that to me is like super comic booky, like 70s, 80s comic book, like just like a bunch of blurbs on it and everything. And it is kind of like, hard. Like I said, like you just don't know where your eyes are supposed to go to, and it's kind of like weird to look at, but I love it. I don't know. Matt, where are you on this?
I hate this poster, so I'm glad we went down the line. Guys, it's Max. It's crazy you're talking about Max. Please Google any spaghetti western poster. This is not going for a comic book style. This is a direct ripoff of A Fistful of Dollars, A Few Dollars More, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. This is a spaghetti western homage, not a comic book homage.
Those are all similar.
I agree with Luke though in the fact that it's trying to. I think when I saw this poster, it deflated my expectations for the movie a bit, just because this to me has studio notes written all over it. I think the poster would be perfect with the top up. You have the AT-AT, you have Grogu and Mando. I love the, starring Pedro Pascal as Din Djarin and Grogu himself. It's trying to be cheeky and funny. You have the Razor Crest. Somehow the Razor Crest has returned. A lot of the X-Wing, like the X-Wings, that stuff's great. All the stuff on the bottom, nix. I don't think we need Grogu and again on this poster for a second time, or Mando.
Third time.
Right. Yeah, I don't think we need that. I don't think we need Sigourney Weaver looking absolutely blind, looking off to nothing. I think the whole thing just reeks studio notes to me, because I feel like if you got rid of everything on the bottom and just had the top, it's a good poster that is in line with the things it's trying to pay homage to, which is the spaghetti westerns. The type, like this is the way, Luke, I think that is intentional. I think it is cheesy on purpose. The same thing as Grogu as himself, poking fun kind of at that this character is big, this character, this puppet is bigger than anything else. Like Grogu as himself is very tongue-in-cheek. It deflated my expectations. Obviously we'll get into the trailer in a second, so I'll hold my thoughts onto that. But I don't think we're going to see black or satin or anything like that. I think, Jon Favreau has mentioned a lean and fast-paced adventure. I would not doubt, by the poster and the way they're treating it, I would not doubt this is an hour and 27-minute movie with credits hour 30, to be 1,000% honest. And I think, and again, we'll get into the trailer, which I have a lot of thoughts about too. Calling it a trailer is a bit of a stretch, I'd say, as well.
It's a teaser trailer. It qualifies.
It definitely is a sizzle reel of sorts, yes, that has a bigger length to it. And again, I've kind of soured a little bit, but the poster I did not do. I was on a flight from Boston to Cleveland when I saw the poster. When I texted you guys, and you texted the trailer was back, and I was like, I'm going to hold off watching the trailer until I get home. But yeah, I don't love this poster. I think ultimately I like the hand-drawn aspect. Again, is it photoshopped? I don't know, or hand-drawn. But I like the top up. I want to do my own version of it and be like, this is what it should be. But I like the way that it's playing homage to spaghetti westerns and really, I think, telling us where the first couple posters and trailers for the seasons were kind of looking more dramatic. I think this is kind of being like, this is what we are and this is what we're going to expect, and just kind of roll with it. So I think I've understood. I'm not expecting a Star Wars style movie, honestly. I'm expecting a Mandalorian and Grogu movie versus a typical Star Wars experience in the theater based off of this poster. And that's what I have to say about it. I do like it's green. I do like that it's green and not red and yellow like typical spaghetti western as well. I think that's cool. And they've updated the fonts a little bit to be a little more spaghetti westerny. But yes, that's my thoughts.
It also leaves something to be desired when you look at all of the other teaser posters for all the other Star Wars movies. Like The Last Jedi is the one that comes to mind first, because that's one of my favorite posters of all time. The all red one with Rey holding the lightsaber up like Luke in that A New Hope poster with Kylo and Luke Skywalker in the background. Teaser posters typically have a very good less is more philosophy with them. Like there's only a couple characters on it and it's more like the vibe and the art direction. Like the Rise of Skywalker one with Kylo and Rey kind of like hunched over on the remnants of the Death Star with Palpatine's eyes on top. Like those are good teaser posters because they don't show much. And I'm usually on the other side of this argument saying because it's always a different example, but less is more for sure with teaser posters, and this did not. This is a lot of more and more and more. Like, the more I look at it, like, these 4 Anzellans with Grogu, are they going to be main characters? Like the twins, Zeb, Sigourney Weaver probably will be, but it's just a lot for a teaser poster.
I have a feeling they're gonna get Din Djarin and Grogu are gonna get separated, and Grogu's gonna be able to go on his own adventure in that regard, so that he doesn't have to have a puppet with him, and then maybe Din Djarin will be with Zeb or something, and then we'll get a shot where he jumps on his shoulder, which again we'll talk about. But that's my
Din Djarin
theory.
just can't fit in that tiny little sewer that Grogu and the Anzellans can.
Which is why they'll separate. Yeah.
It's like that side mission in a Lego Star Wars game where you have to be one of the small people.
That's exactly what it's
that's
like.
why Kid Boba Fett is in the game.
Hearing you talk about teaser posters makes me feel vindicated because I don't really care for either of those teaser posters, and I didn't really think about that. What was
The red
teaser
one?
poster for Force Awakens?
It was the Millennium Falcon with the TIE Fighter on Jakku.
Oh yeah, that was also very.
That one was very, very little, yeah.
Yeah. I like this way better. I like this poster a lot. I think it's fun. Like I said, I do not think this is the best poster. All of the critiques that I'm hearing, I don't disagree with. I just think this is fun. And at the end of the day, I feel like that's all that they're trying to do. Like, I don't think they're actually trying to set our expectations too high for this film, which I almost appreciate. Based on the trailer, so let's get into it. The teaser, whatever we want to call it.
It's
I did not
touted
like
as the
teaser
trailer
nearly as much.
All right, I'm glad.
Was it?
Yeah, it's
I
touted
did
as
not
the
like
trailer.
it nearly as much as the poster. I thought the poster was fun. Well, I thought that the teaser was fun as well. But you expect more from a trailer. You want to hear a little bit more dialogue. You want to hear a little bit more plot, motives, themes, something a little bit more than like what you described it earlier, which is just a sizzle reel. And that's all this is. It's just a bunch of really cool action shots, a bunch of cool set pieces, and Grogu being cute. And that's about it. Matt, what are your high-level thoughts on the trailer?
High-level thoughts is that, okay, so seeing with the poster, and I've always come at this stuff, right, as like a film geek. I always come at it with like, I'm a nerd first, and so I feel like that always like rubs people the wrong way when we're like talking film nerd stuff, but at the same time, so again, I'm trying to split my difference a little bit in the fact that this feels like a great season of Mandalorian television. It makes me a little concerned that this is what's going to be touted in theaters when this feels like what it looks like visually a Disney Plus movie. It visually looks like the best version of Mandalorian we've ever seen. But I also was listening to a podcast where people were like, is this what cinema is going to become, where it's just a stunt double in a suit, a puppet, and a green screen virtually? And it's like, in that regard, that is like, oh yeah, I don't want cinema to become that. On the other hand, as a Star Wars fan, I was like, well, these sets do look very cool. I think Sigourney Weaver is just literally stepping into the shoes of what Grief Karga was at, since she's sitting down as well. It's just like so funny. But ultimately, I think it looks visually stunning. I have a lot more questions.
Do you think it looks visually stunning, or do you think it looks like a TV show?
I think it looks like a TV show, but I think it looks like the best version of this TV show that we've seen. I don't think this looks as cinematic. Like if you stop at, when they're in like the fight, for example, at like a minute and 2 seconds in, it looks like a TV show scope. It doesn't look huge. It doesn't look, you can't really see a lot. And when you're, again, think about like Last Jedi, that is like a spectacle to see, right? And there's a lot of things that to get you excited about, like the AT-AT, which is, the AT-AT falling off the cliff. That's very cool. I don't think it's as dramatic of a moment that they want it to be, since it's like the last 30 seconds of the trailer almost.
They really wanted to sell us on the budget with that shot.
They did. Yes, exactly. That was it. But then also they were just fighting a lot of like gobbledygook droids in a weird way, which doesn't feel for some reason like Star Wars to me when I was watching this. It felt more like a video game. Those are top level thoughts. I'm sorry, I'm in a weird direction with this, but I have a lot of thoughts. Max, I'm sure you're going to organize us in a better way, so please, whoever wants to
Before you do that, I'd like to share my top level thoughts that are equally unorganized, because we're 8 months out from the release of this movie, and I am already preemptively so exhausted with the conversation around it. The idea of it being looking like a TV show instead of a movie. First off, the gap between what looks like a TV show and what looks like a movie has narrowed in the last 5-10 years. I'm not saying that it's the exact same, but like ever since Game of Thrones started putting out cinema quality episodes, like the gap has narrowed. And so if this looks like the best a TV show can look, that only looks a little bit worse than what a movie can look. And what we're talking about here is so vague and undefined. Like it's just a feeling, and that is going to be the predominant. Like I don't mean to attack you personally, Matt, because I know you really like movies and you have a very
No. I like what you're saying,
distinct
actually.
eye for what you like to see because you work with it so directly and you have seen so many movies and you're really into it. But just it's going to be the lowest common denominator take on this movie that people are going to come out of it and be like, oh, well, that just felt like a TV show, so it's bad. It's going to feel like a TV show. These are TV show characters. We watched these characters in a TV show for the last 6 years, and it can come out with they could quadruple the budget. There's no amount of money or set design the costume design is already fixed. I don't think there's anything that they can do to get people to not have that take, and it's going to bother me.
No, I think that's fair. And also, I think, it's funny, Luke, like what we were saying, like, CGI, they've closed the gap, right? I almost feel like we've gone the opposite way, and that's not with Mando and Grogu, but in general, right? People are like, in 2009, the animation was crazy, the CG was crazy, in like Pirates of the Caribbean 3 and so on and so forth. And then you get like, these weird...
In 2009 or in Pirates of the Caribbean 3?
Are those different?
I'm gonna look it up now.
Avatar, whatever, all those.
Oh yeah, Avatar was 2003.
Yeah, those types of.
Yeah, no. At World's End was not 2003 then.
No, it doesn't. Oh, Black Pearl was.
Black Pearl was 2004.
Oh,
2003. Sounds
Either way,
right, yeah.
2007, 2009. But I feel like the animation is
You can cut
CGI
that,
has gone
sorry.
weird. Yeah, it doesn't matter. We're going off
2003,
Max,
2006, and 2007 were those movies.
damn it, Max. What are your high level thoughts? I'm just gonna nix whatever.
Cut that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of creatures, a lot of droids, and a lot of action. And that's really about it. And I think, and I'm pretty sure that this isn't like offensive. I'm pretty sure like the data plays this out, right? But I'm pretty sure that the international markets, aka China, really likes creatures and robots. And so I feel like this movie is largely catering to that. Because
This movie or this trailer?
The movie. Well,
Okay.
the trailer. I mean, the trailer is a reflection of the movie. I think they're doing a lot of things in there to appeal to an international market. Because I did a bunch of research into this, right? Because I'm like, how much money are they spending on this? How much did they spend on the other movies that made $1 billion? And how much are they actually looking to make out of this, right? Because
Did a
the
bunch of
recent
research. Did you
comps-
ask ChatGPT that question?
no. Well, what question specifically?
I am looking right now at my make me a list of box office returns, domestic and global, for every single Star Wars movie. Include the budget for each movie. Include the teaser poster for each movie. Prompts in ChatGPT on my screen.
I'm interested to see what that says. No, I was looking at current day comps, other movies that were coming out that are like similar to like, okay, if you see this and you're probably going to go see, a Star Wars as well, right? One of them was Jurassic World Rebirth. That movie made $866 million at the box office, which blew me away when I saw that. I don't know why so many people went to that. And then, this is when I started to get my theory about the international market. I saw that was a 57% international market share. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. There's dinosaurs. And then I started looking at other shows.
What?
Or movies. And Superman was also a big release, and that only made $615 million. Fantastic Four has made $520 million. Brave New World made $415 million, and Thunderbolts made $380 million. So I'm like, I don't see exactly this movie blowing any of those out of the water. Solo made $393 million, and that was a flop by all standards. And adjusted for inflation, that's about $488 million. I don't see this movie making that much more than that. I think The Mandalorian and Grogu is going to make like $500 million. I think it's going to be largely from the international market. And the early reports that I saw, and these things change, obviously, so take it with a grain of salt, said that their budget was $166 million, which is considerably less than any of the other movies they were working with before. I think it was all north of 200 million. And I also have a feeling that Jon Favreau, just being in the business and knowing that, big companies like Jon Favreau for a reason, I wouldn't be surprised if he actually comes in under budget at this movie.
Yeah.
And I'm also pretty sure that this isn't going to have the same kind of marketing budget as some of these other films either. So I do think that this movie is going to make like around 500 million, same thing basically as Solo, but I think that's also going to be a success for Disney. Like, I think that's all they want. Like, they're just saying, like just put it in theaters and make a buck because they're going to watch this anyway if we put it on Disney Plus, right? The only thing that, and this is my prediction, and I make a lot of predictions on this show. So I'm going to make an intention to write this down, and I'm going to tape it right here. And then 8 months, we'll come back to it and see how this plays out.
Good for you.
I'm predicting that this movie is also going to end somewhere around a 6.9 IMDb rating, which is about the same as Solo and The Last Jedi. And I think it's going to be the opposite of The Last Jedi as far as Rotten Tomatoes go. I think the tomato meter is going to be like 41%. I don't see this movie doing real well with critics based on the very little that we've seen. But I think it is going to be fun. And I don't think people are going to feel like they have to see this movie like they did with other Star Wars movies. I think this movie is going to benefit from the fact that the most of the people who are going to see it are going to be the ones who want to see it and will therefore be liked more by the audiences in general. So I think it's going to have a 41% tomato meter score, but a 91% popcorn meter. That's just the literal inverse of The Last Jedi. But that's my theory.
Max, that's a
I
very
don't think that
sound
anyone's
theory.
going to go into this expecting anything more than Mandalorian season 4. Like, I feel like it is pretty much setting your expectations that, like, yeah, we're just going to make you pay to see this. So this movie is not going to live or die by how good of a film it is, because I don't think people are going to be shocked one way or another. I think it's going to live or die by whether or not it was worth paying $12 to see it in the theater. And so we know that this isn't going to be like a major crossover event or anything like that. This isn't like the equivalent of an Avengers movie. But is there going to be something that will make it a theatrical experience? Will there be a moment that will make the audience cheer and clap and jump out of their seats in excitement? Or is it just going to be, like you said, an hour and a half of Mandalorian? And I don't know if it will or not, but I think that's basically what's going to determine how people feel about this film.
Yeah, I mean, I think those are all solid points, Max. I mean, like, I am excited for this movie. It just, I think it deflated me a little bit watching it. I'm not, because I feel like every season that we've been talking about, I think our expectations are a little different than the filmmakers' like reality. And I think for the first time, usually the trailers can kind of get me and skew me into being like, oh shit, maybe this is the one. But I think this trailer showed me exactly what it's going to be, which is exactly what we know Mandalorian is. And this is kind of which is great, which is in a good way, right? It's like a capstone and a celebration of this show, presumably ending. And it feels like a capstone to be like, this is going to be like, hey, for the fans, it's going to be in theaters. And that's another thing is, like, I don't know how long it'll be in theaters, right? The same thing I know, obviously, with Superman, right? That's like the quickest a blockbuster has now. I mean, it's on HBO now.
It's already out, yeah.
And so, right, that was the thing. That's like they're testing that out to be like, people can go see it in theaters, but also how do we get this really quickly on the platform so we have the most generative buzz about it, right? I think that's going to be the same thing. I mean, Mandalorian... That's the thing, is that I think it looks a little bit like it's already made for TV screens, right? And so you're going to be able to see it on a bigger platform, and it's going to be more condensed. So again, I'd be interested in seeing the behind the scenes. I'm still a little confused about like why this is going to be a film versus a fourth season. And again, I would be interested in some of that background information. But like, I mean, the shots look fun. It looks like the best version we've seen of Mandalorian. Just like the action, the budget does indeed just seem bigger. Obviously we get to see Grogu like jump on Mando's back and swim, and he looks like Grogu in a movie budget, I think, a little bit, right? And I think
looks
we
like
get
they
to
were
see
animating a little bit more than just puppeting.
Yeah, something, right? Like he's not as stiff, and there's a lot of creatures, like you said, Max. I wonder also if there's no dialogue, for quickness of getting this out, or if it's something to do with the international as well, where it is since it is all action, it's all hype. I wonder why that is. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of like, I don't know what's happening in this film. But yeah, I mean, honestly, like it's crazy because I'm just like, how much is there to talk about even? It's a bunch of cool shots.
There's plenty to talk about, and I'm feeling radicalized now. The same thing happened the other day with our some discussion on some part of The Mandalorian season 1, where like this is a spectrum of how much you like this trailer, and I came in about here. And this side is good, and this should be an audio medium, so it doesn't really work out right now. For those of us listening on Spotify, you can just come over to YouTube and see me holding up my hands, and like I'm here, and you guys are just a little bit further. And I thought I was going to be the furthest along the dislike side of it, but now that you're a little bit further than me, you're just like pushing me farther towards liking it, because it's like no, fuck you, yeah, that's good, no, that's good. I thought I was going to come into this a lot lower than I am, but now, after just listening to all that, because I don't agree with almost anything you guys are saying.
Well, Luke, it's funny because it's on the same side a bit where I talked to my brothers about it, and I was exactly where you're at, where I was like, no, fuck you, like, this is great. It's great. It's exactly what the show is trying to do, but on a movie scale level, and yada, 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 and it's trying to show you scope and everything. And it's so funny because it is depending on who you're talking to. And Max, you're a big proponent of that, to be like, if you're talking to us, you're very critical of something, right? But if you're talking to average Joe at work, you're just like, no, like, this is great though, and you should understand why.
You should definitely watch Star Wars.
Yes, exactly. And
it's like you're convincing us not to watch Star Wars, which is the opposite of what we try to see through the world.
I know, which is funny because again, that's
I was literally just talking to my neighbor, and they were talking about Star Wars, and she said, "Oh, did you like The Acolyte?" And I was like, it depends if you like The Acolyte.
Yes, yeah, it does, and it's like, it's so funny because I figured we would come into this conversation, and I assumed I'd be the most negative, but it's nice that we all kind of feel like had that perspective that we were going to be the most negative one. But then, yeah, it is push and pull, right? And that's the thing, especially with this podcast, is that like we are all fans of this stuff, but then like again, it's, we can be critical of it too, but it also depends on who we're talking to, which is then confusing when the three of us are talking to each other and we're all kind of on the same page. Like we all just inherently shift a little bit to be like, well, fuck you, I actually like this more. Like, it's a very funny dynamic.
But I mean, I do think that we're all on the same page in that the show does look fun, right?
Yes.
Or movie, it does look fun. Like, all of the action looks great. Grogu looks cute. That's basically all The Mandalorian is. So that's why I'm saying it's like, it's not hyping itself up to be something that it isn't.
That is not all The Mandalorian is. The Mandalorian is a very good show. We like it a lot.
It is. It's a lot of fun. I'm not saying it's bad or anything.
I'm just saying it's going to be a 6.9.
There's not going to be any sort of like huge. There's not going to be any sort of a huge twist. There's not going to be any sort of like universe shaking moment that's going to happen in this film. It's just another side story of Mandalorian and Grogu, and that's what it's going to be. And it's going to be fun, and it's going to be good. But it's not going to be, like I said, the Avengers.
Yeah.
Yes, this is not the Avengers. I agree with you wholeheartedly there. I think that this will be a good movie. Like, it's a good show. We like the characters, we like the world. It's gonna be good. They're gonna write a good story. And we at this point we know
is it going
less
to be
than
incredible?
nothing about the story.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's the thing too.
No, it won't be incredible.
Which is the thing though, because
You think it will be incredible?
No, I don't think so.
But that's the thing.
Okay.
We have
Yeah,
11.
then we're on the same page. That's all I'm saying.
We have
But you're
11
just saying it with a
amazing
bad tone of
Star
voice.
Wars. Yeah, but like when we're ranking all the Star Wars movie, like, is this not going to be last? Right? Like, I mean, is it not going to be the bottom three?
there are
Might not. No.
There are profoundly average Star Wars movies that we love because we love Star Wars. I think it'll be better than most of the prequels and Episode 9.
Oh, man, you think it's going to be better than most of the? I don't know. See, I don't know if that's going to be true or not. Like, this might be a fun romp, but like, if I look back, am I going to want to watch this over like Phantom? I just don't know. We'll
Because
see.
like
I'm
our
excited
problems
about it.
with Phantom are like the writing and the acting and some of the like filmmaking choices. I don't think we'll have any problems with the filmmaking choices. It'll just be like the feeling we have that this should be a show, which might never go away, and that's and that might never change, and that's super frustrating. But this movie might be very good, and you guys are being a bunch of bitches, I swear.
No, because I think Solo is also a fun romp. Like, I don't think that's like a story, like on a scale, the same as like the prequels or anything like that. But
You think Solo is incredible?
No, I think Solo's good, and I think this is going to be good. I think it will be comparable to other Star Wars movies. I do not think that this is destined to be my least favorite Star Wars movie by any means.
I think it's destined to be mine. I don't know. I think like I like this, but I just don't see it. Like Star Wars, right, in theaters is such a Star Wars movies are like such a unique thing, and that's why I really like the shows kind of being their own contained thing. And now that the shows are leaking into the movie space, it's really throwing my head for a loop to be like, what is Star Wars like? I feel like when it is so big and dramatic, and you go to see Star Wars for a reason, right? And then it's like, to me, it's again a capstone to be like, this is gonna be a fun movie to see in theaters. Like I almost wish this was like, hey, we're going to do the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. It's going to be on Disney Plus, and we're going to do a 1-week theatrical run for the fans. Like, that would get me weirdly more excited, because then those are expectations. Where, to me, like, a Star Wars movie in theaters should be a different experience to me. And again, that is coming with all this baggage and stuff. So that is, I think, at the bottom. I can see you're both nodding, so I'm going to quote when I'm ahead. But that's in general how I feel about this.
No, I was shaking my head. Sorry if that wasn't clear enough. I think you're going to be singing a different tune when official trailer 1 comes out. I think
this is official trailer 1.
It says official trailer. It's a teaser. There's no dialogue.
We're definitely going to get another one at least. Whether or not this is a teaser or a trailer, we'll definitely be getting another one.
It's definitely a teaser. There's no dialogue.
Hopefully,
you can't
we're not
call
getting
this
another
not the
poster.
teaser.
I do want this to be the official poster.
It might be the official poster because it's so.
I also think
it's
is.
so much. It's not like the other teaser posters where they need another one with more.
Subtlety is not this. Is not in this poster. Yeah.
The marketing for this movie has such a hard road ahead of it, and I'm also dreading that element of the lead up to it and the box office analysis, because with the teaser to any other movie, the goal is to show you that this movie exists. These are the characters / actors and the basic premise. And the goal with this teaser is to show you that this movie exists and it's not something that you already think it is. Yeah. The preconceived notions going into starting this trailer just puts you in a whole different field. Like this, there's not really a good example of something that's similar to this, because this is a very unique situation for a movie to be in.
Unique though. They joke about it in Community, 5 seasons in a movie. I mean, what are some more things that have had 5 seasons in a movie?
That's what I mean. Yeah, I couldn't think of any.
There's a lot of animated.
I think the joke is 6 seasons in a movie, for the record.
That's true. It is
6 seasons. Thank you.
But like, you have shows and movies like Bob's Burgers, The Simpsons, that have also crossed over into films, and those are like fun watches that I think have the expectation where they're like, oh, this is an hour and a half episode that you're gonna like. But then I always have problems with those movies because they change the tone and style, because you're used to watching a 20-minute format, and all of a sudden it's triple that. And they have to change character dynamics and how they act. I don't think they will in Mandalorian. But I feel like, I don't know, that's my biggest example, I think. I mean, X-Files did it, but that was, I think, for the better as well. They did 5 seasons in a movie. And then they did...
Was the movie released in theaters?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's a good example.
They were also going to capstone X-Files. With the movie, but then they were like, hey, the X-Files movie did really well. People love the show. We should continue going. And so they continued going, which I think is very good. They did they did a solid 2 other seasons, and then 2 average, if not worse, seasons.
Firefly is kind of similar, but they only did 1 season before Serenity.
True.
There was a lot of other factors for that one, though. I don't know how comparable that is. Well, anyway, I do have some specific notes in the trailer that I do want to talk about, though, that we haven't talked about already, although we have discussed a lot of it. First, it's not new. We already knew that the Razor Crest was coming back. But it was fun seeing it again. It's got some yellow highlights on it. So
when did we know that it was coming back?
Different.
I think this is new.
Yeah.
No, we saw stills of Zeb and Mando in the Razor Crest.
Is that from the leaked trailer? That I don't think those were stills.
It was. No, it wasn't leaked. Yeah, it was like official set photos.
We didn't see stills of Zeb.
Yeah, we did in the cockpit of the Razor Crest.
No, Zeb is definitely new, and I'm 99% sure that the Razor Crest is new. That's news.
That is not news. I gotta go now to the photos.
Yeah.
Well,
don't remember
It's
that.
going to be from.
Well, I guess my thoughts on that are predicated on the reveal of the Razor Crest being back being news, because I thought that was not jarring. I don't know. Why is it back? Why did we destroy it? I know why we destroyed it and why it's back. We thought that season 2 was going to be the end of The Mandalorian, and here we are 5 years after that, and it's their most successful IP, so it's back. But I don't dislike it. It doesn't do any services towards the idea of the Razor Crest being just Mandalorian's ship, when even it was well established in canon that the Razor Crest is a generic ship and anyone could own one. Like, people recognized a Razor Crest several different times, and that's obviously supported by the fact that he can just get a new Razor Crest. But I would like it if he had his own ship, and I thought we had that with the N1 Starfighter. I get for functional purposes, probably for story purposes too, it makes more sense for him not to have a single seater with a little droid hole for Grogu. But
Droid hole. I will say, I think, and again, I'm sorry, Luke, to go back to the marketing aspect of this, but man, I do wish this was going to be played before a movie, because I feel like if you saw the Razor Crest, the first shot, if you were in a theater and you didn't expect it to happen, you would shit your pants, right? Like, if you're like, oh, I got to go see this new movie, and then you see the Razor Crest, and you're like, this is the start of the trailer. That's so exciting. Like, when you guys went to go see the trailer for the teaser, right, for Force Awakens, and the Front of Horrible Bosses Part 2 or whatever. Like, that
got all those
is,
details right.
Great movie.
like, that is something that, like, I wanted with this trailer. Like, oh, Star Wars trailer should be epic and whatever. Like, but this was dropped on like a Monday at 11:30 in the morning. You know, and I was like, no, I wanted to be like, I was excited to see the Odyssey trailer in front of the new Christopher Nolan movie. Which, fuck, where was it in front of? I forget what movie it was in front of. But anyway, I think it was Jurassic World, which was, again, Jurassic World Rebirth was one of the worst movies I've seen in theaters ever, which sucked. But I think
too bad.
The image I was thinking of was, in fact, from the leaked footage. So, I guess this is more of a reveal than I.
Boo supporting the leaks.
Acting like that was old news. So I'll just say this again, and Matt, you can just edit this. The Razor Crest is back. And you can fix that. And then there was that shot of it looking like it was being chased by TIE interceptors, or maybe it was some sort of bounty hunter ships. That looked interesting. Oh, boy.
I think they were definitely ties, but I don't know what kind.
We also got to see Sigourney Weaver. Now, that's a pretty big name to get for this. I don't think that this is going to be like a one-and-done movie for her. I think she's going to be involved in the New Republic, and she'll probably be in some more stuff. She'll probably be in Ahsoka Season 2 as well as the Filoni movie, I'm guessing, because otherwise, why get Sigourney Weaver? Then again, they also got, what's-his-name to voice Rada the Hutt, and I kind of feel like that's
Jeremy
for
Allen
reason
White,
as well.
yeah.
So, Jeremy Allen White.
because he's
thank
hot
you.
right
so,
now. You
I mean,
know?
He is hot right now.
he is hot.
Rada the Hutt is not hot right now, so they needed a big name.
He's got a six-pack though. You know.
Yeah, I was about to say, he is a swole boy.
Yeah, this might be the version of like bat nipples though, like on a bat suit. To be like a jacked Hut is just funny to see. Like, even from the side
Well,
view.
it's not new to the Star Wars canon, but it is the first time we're seeing it in live action, so it will be interesting to see how it looks in its full glory, because right now the only shot that we got was kind of like a backside shot. Enough to see that he was definitely jacked, but you don't get like full frontal. So I guess we'll see. But we do see him what appears to be fighting in some sort of arena. Mando's a spectator. And then
Gladiator
later
ring.
on, he's in the arena as well, fighting some aliens too. So we'll see how that plays out, why he has to enter into the arena. We did see a shot of Zeb, and that shot of Zeb was badass, of him jumping off that wall and beating on those. Everything in this was awesome. I mean, again, a lot of the critiques we already got out of the way, but like the actual shots themselves just looked so much fun. Like so much fun. Mandalorian looked like he was in some sort of bar cantina type environment, and he like kicks that guy like over the bar. I mean, that was like a superhero level powered kick.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
I'm not mad about it. I'm not like, he's super strong now or anything. It was badass. I saw that and I was like, oh shit. So I like that a lot. The Anzellans. Now, We got the Anzellans in season 3 of Mandalorian, so it feels natural, which is good. Otherwise, I'd be like, this is just like, even more of a cash grab by just adding as cute characters as possible to supplement Grogu with. But I feel like they laid the groundwork for it pretty well. So I'm like, Grogu doing a little side mission with some Anzellans in a tiny little sewer. It makes sense to me, and I'm very excited to see it. And of course, the last shot in the trailer was Grogu spraying that little alien with some goo to cover his eyes, and then the Anzellan says, "Nice shot, baby." It was like the only line of dialogue in the entire trailer. But like, who's not gonna love that? Like, they know what they're doing. Jon Favreau knows how to make people awe.
Just still pouting and trying to support my own narrative about this being a movie quality movie and not a TV quality movie, even though that's very vague and ill-defined. The Gladiator, the fight scene at 102 that Matt specifically called out as looking small in scope, that I think is appropriately large in scope, and again, evidence is going to be few and far between for something as vague as just the general quality like this. But we do see almost the same scene in season 2 episode 1 where Mando goes to where those the pig face people whose name escapes me, Gamorreans, are boxing, and he's in the stands, and it's like, that's crazy similar. And if you just look at them side by side, one is substantially smaller and one is substantially bigger. So like, in terms of just scope and size and set design, this does seem to be a step above.
I feel like we're one step away from Bonesaw, getting in that ring, though.
Why? Why do you feel that way?
Well, that's not a bad thing. It was just a joke because they're in an arena.
Good. I'm defensive about this. It looks great. This is a perfectly good trailer. They just need to. It's a teaser trailer. They're just telling you that this movie exists. It's an action movie with these characters and creatures, and
Luke,
there will be more later.
It's watch Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and Rise of Skywalker teaser trailers, and tell me that those aren't 10 times better than these, though. The music, it's emotional.
They are.
It gets you. Like, that's what I'm...
But those are huge events, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, this movie isn't trying to claim that it's something along those lines. This movie is just saying, like, yeah, this thing just exists, and this is just a side adventure with Mandalorian, and it's going to be fun, and that's it. Don't go into this expecting a Force Awakens level event in which the entire New Republic is blown up in a super Death Star Star Killer base, anything like that. Like nothing like that's gonna happen.
I agree,
and
but
this isn't gonna trigger a new. Okay, so first off, we know that the Dave Filoni movie is in the works, right? And we kind of have an idea that that's going to be like a big culmination of the Mandoverse with Boba Fett, Ahsoka, and like all these other storylines kind of coming together. This isn't that. Like, this is just going to like kind of feed into that, but this is like a kind of a standalone movie. So comparing those teasers, I think, isn't fair.
But I think it should be when you're doing a Star Wars movie. That's what we're talking about before. Is that I think that's what Star Wars is. Even Solo and Rogue One, like that is. And I think
Solo.
I need to see the teaser for Solo.
Solo famously did not have a teaser because it didn't start marketing until 3 months before release, which is its own bad decision. But the first Solo trailer was amazing, but that was a much larger story-based trailer, and a lot of dialogue, and production was much further along. Rogue One's was awesome, and I don't want to undercut it, but like they had a very easy job making that, whereas they have a very hard job making this, because they just had to put up imagery that evokes 1977 Star Wars. And at the time, in 2016, when that trailer was coming out, they just had to like play the alarm from Yavin, and everyone went nuts. It's like that's an easy trailer to make, and this is a hard trailer to make because everyone already has ideas about this. And
no, this should be an easy trailer to make because we know the characters. We love these characters. This should be the easiest version of a trailer you can make. You shouldn't have to go super hard. You don't even have to tell us the story, really. A couple bits of dialogue, Sigourney Weaver. This should be the easiest version of all of the things. You're not selling anybody on any new characters. This should be the best. Should be like the greatest hits. Couple dialogue, couple funny moments. We got the action moments. We just needed a bit. Again, honestly, cut this. If this is a teaser, cut it to 50 seconds, give a little bit of story, and end with a cliffhanger of what we're gonna see. This should be it. Like, this should be the victory lap for the show, not more question marks.
The arrogance inherent in denying you when you literally cut movie trailers for your living for a living, that's what you do, and I don't do that. And so you saying that it should be easier if you already have established characters, and me saying that it would be harder, I get that I'm probably wrong, but I'm not backing down.
Perfect.
This is the perfect embodiment of every argument on the internet. Matt literally makes these trailers for a living, and Luke literally critiques them for a living, and they're just duking at it.
I still don't. Yeah.
I want to know your guys' predictions as to whether or not you think we will see any characters in this movie, either in an actual role or just a cameo, that we don't know about, that you think will be like a little fun surprise.
Like, are you saying that? So yes, they put Zeb in the trailer. If they put Zeb in the trailer, they're holding 10x Zebs behind the scenes right now.
I'm asking who you think they are, though, not if they're going to do it.
Oh, I think Bo-Katan will be in this movie for sure. Is there anyone else
I don't
in?
think that's a for sure.
Mando. I think IG-11 will be in this movie. I'm trying to think of anyone else. I don't think Boba Fett's going to be in this. I don't think Boba Fett's going to be in it.
I don't think he will either, but I hope he is. I hope a lot of bounty hunters are in it, though. I would like to see them bring back some of the Empire bounty hunter crew into live action again. That would be fun. We know that they can do it.
Mm-hmm. And they love recycling stuff. They're so afraid to make new creatures and characters and stuff. That's the beast that Mando is fighting, or someone is fighting in that very well designed and efficiently sized arena, is the same monster that plays Dejarik, that is the Dejarik character in the game. And I feel like I've already overexplained that, and yet I still underexplained it. like how a chess pawn is in the game of chess. That is what this character is to the game of Dejarik. And I think that, I think that they're right in thinking that Star Wars fans love seeing random creatures included again from random stuff like that. Mostly, I see it a lot with concept art from past movies. Like, they're starting to do it now with prequel concept art from like Ian McKeag, but it was super common with original trilogy concept art, where they're like, oh, this character was actually inspired by the concept art of that movie, and it's like, I don't care about that. Like, make your own character. This creature is good. That I'm sure you could have created a perfectly good new creature too. The fact that it is from old concept art doesn't make it inherently better, and they act like it does. And I'm annoyed by that.
That Dave Filoni specifically really likes doing. Rebels is like a prime example of it. I think every character in Rebels was based on like the original Ralph McQuarrie concept art.
He's not wrong for doing it. I love Star
Chopper.
Wars Rebels.
Yeah, I do too. Chopper was like the original concept art for R2, and Zeb was the original concept art for Chewbacca. So yeah, maybe we'll get something like that. I don't know. I'm holding out hope for Black Chrysanthemum cameo, because you know he's involved in the Hutts, so I'm like, that makes sense. Matt, what about you? Do you have any?
No, he's not involved with the
predictions or
Hutts anymore,
desires?
because remember, there's that very specific scene where they say you can go, and we see him jog away.
That's true. I think this is going to be a more contained story with Grogu and Mandalorian. I don't know if we're going to do the best of type situation like with Black Chrysanthemum and Boba Fett. I feel like Bo-Katan is a given, right? And I with that being said, I think this is going to be a kind of a standalone adventure that they might run into a couple of people. Again, it's not like it's a surprise. This is a continuation of a 3-season show that I think anyone is up for grabs in that regard. But I think ultimately this is going to be a fun action movie that will set up the culmination of the Filoni movie, is I think what the goal is going to be. So I don't think they're going to be major hits until the ending, and we're going to kind of end on a bit of a cliffhanger.
I don't think it'll end on a cliffhanger.
First time returning to this era since Thrawn has made his way back into the universe.
Mm-hmm.
What impact do you think Thrawn is going to make in this movie?
I think that's going to be like the ending. Worlds will collide a bit, and then that's going to be the setup, because this is going to be the movie, but the movie aspect that this leads into something.
I don't think Thrawn will be in this or mentioned much. I think it's going to be one of the Shadow Council Moffs or Imperials or something. That's very similar to Moff Gideon, but they can make it different. I don't think Thrawn will be in it personally.
I agree with Matt. I don't think he's going to be like a major character in the film, but I think his presence probably will be to some extent. I think it's probably going to have some sort of big reveal at the end that'll probably play into Ahsoka season 2, because that's what would be coming out after this, right?
I believe so.
Yeah,
Maybe
definitely not the Dave
When does
Filoni movie.
Starfighter come out?
Oh, God.
2027?
2027 summer, yeah.
Is the Rey movie
So
still
I think
happening?
Ahsoka season 2 is before then.
No, it never was.
It is.
And neither is all the others. The Rian Johnson trilogy, the early days of the Jedi movie, or the third one is the Dave Filoni movie is.
No,
Yeah.
the Ryan Mangold movie,
Yeah.
or the not Ryan.
Mangold
James
was
Mangold.
the Dawn of the Jedi.
James Mangold movie, yeah.
But I am excited to go back to that timeline to just kind of find out more, because Ahsoka season 2 really blue-balled me, and I'm trying to find out what's going on. So I'm excited to see that. But Matt, I agree with you. I think it's going to end with some sort of cliffhanger that's going to lead into Ahsoka season 2 that will kind of carry off where it pick up where it left off. Any other comments about the trailer? Any other moments that I haven't talked about yet?
No.
The
My
one for me-
The only note that
sorry.
I didn't talk about was I said definitely the least excited I've been for a Star Wars movie ever. And I am just going to delete that and not talk about it because you guys are being bitches.
But you said it, and it's there.
I thought it before we started recording, but now I don't think it anymore. I'm most excited for this movie.
The two notes that I have is that I'm a sucker for a cityscape in a puddle. So when we see walk through it, I love it. It doesn't matter what movie it's in, I love it. The Iktoshi.
They always step in the
background-
puddle, and every time Matt's like, "Oh, you got me."
Literally, yeah. Do you guys say Iktoshi? Iktoshi? The CC10?
Iktochi, I would say Iktachi.
Right? I know. Either way, that creature is in the background when Grogu jumps on Mandalorian's shoulder, and I'm excited to see that because it's not CC10, and I'm just it's always
Probably not.
Probably not. It's definitely not, but it's always a welcome just to see that. As you know, great action figure.
We saw a Mandalorian Fang fighter. Like, if that's not a confirmation that Bo-Katan's going to be in it, right? There's no way there will be other
Did we see a
Mandalorians
Fang
that
fighter?
aren't.
I
Yeah,
did not
because
remember that.
Mando's jetpacking like into the cargo hold of it. It looks sweet.
Oh, I thought that was a U-wing. I thought that was a U-wing with its wings back.
It does.
It
look
is
like
indeed a
U-wing.
U-wing with its wing backs. Yep,
Okay.
you were right. Cut that. I don't want to lose any
I still
credibility.
don't think Bo-Katan being in it is a given. Like, I feel like they are going to leave her on Mandalore for a little bit. Like, I think anyone involved with the Hutts can be in it, anyone involved with the New Republic can be in it, and anyone involved with the Empire Remnant can be in it.
I feel a lot less.
I shouldn't say can't be in it.
I feel a lot
like
less
those
certain.
are more likely to be in it than Bo-Katan.
I thought that was a Mandalorian ship, so I feel a lot less certain than I did back when I thought that was that.
Well,
I also-
I'm happy to burst that bubble for you.
The one thing also, those big robots, those big droids at like 53 or 58 seconds, they're guarding like that vault. That feels very Skeleton Crew. That is the one thing I wanted to mention. That is like the first Skeleton Crew-esque pirate that I've noticed.
Which isn't a bad thing.
No.
That was a great TV show.
It was. But yeah, look at that again, and you're like, that feels like in that style.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It has the Hutt Syndicate emblem on that vault door too, which is exciting. Rada.
We've seen
It all leads back to Rada.
We've seen giant robots like that before in the comics. It was like the major plot point to the ending of the Bounty Hunter ongoing series, but I kind of forget the details off the top of my head. But
I
another
didn't- I
comic
didn't
book
read that series.
tie-in. All right. Well, does anyone have any force for thought?
Yes, I do. I was watching The Phantom Menace, and the best part of The Phantom Menace, the Darth Maul, Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan fight scene, and they get into those that shielded area, and Darth Maul's pacing back and forth, staring at Qui-Gon, and Qui-Gon sits down to meditate in a very famously Jedi sage way, and we all love Qui-Gon for it. But we never talk about how he loses the lightsaber fight immediately after doing that. So maybe that's not such a good move, despite the narrative being that he's so smart for doing it.
We've talked about why he does it. I don't need to bring it up again. Just two lovers looking at each other.
I've said before that I think Qui-Gon is so cool because he does this, and now I'm starting to think that he's less cool for doing it. Obi-Wan, he's like pumping himself up, you know, and then he goes and kills Darth Maul. So maybe it's not the Jedi way, but maybe it's the way you got to do things, Qui-Gon. It's not like he threw his lightsaber down and said, "I will not fight you." He still fought him. He just sucks now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like that. It's not sitting well with me.
I mean, it's like one of those things you can't.
Qui-Gon
it doesn't always
was
work,
more
you know.
kind of gray than other Jedi, like kind of famously. Like he was the one who was like a little more willing to bend the rules, you know. Like I feel like it would actually have made more sense for Obi-Wan's character to have been the one that was meditating, and Qui-Gon to have been kind of pumping himself up a little bit over it. Just
now,
in terms of how it played out. But
because Qui-Gon would
he's
bend the
supposed to be
rules.
the master, and he's teaching him.
Qui-Gon would bend the rules, but he was more in tune with the living force than the rest of the Jedi, and he would bend the rules such that he could follow that closer in his mind or in reality. So I think in terms of the characterization of a Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, I think it makes sense that Qui-Gon would do that and Obi-Wan wouldn't, especially because Obi-Wan's younger and, well, that's it, just because he's younger and more aggressive, and he just saw his master die. But I just think purely in terms of being a better or worse Jedi for it, I think there's a time and place, Qui-Gon, and maybe this isn't the time to start meditating because the evidence provided to us it definitely implies that it hurts more than it helps.
Did Qui-Gon ever have visions?
I don't believe so.
What if, here's a headcanon for you, what if he was meditating to kind of like try to look into the future, so to speak, and be like, okay, how's this going to play out? Maybe he saw himself killing Darth Maul, and then he takes Anakin, and then Anakin turns to the dark side, and maybe Anakin's never redeemed by Luke Skywalker, and everything turns out significantly worse. And so he kind of says, like, okay, well, I'm going to have to die in order for Obi-Wan to pick up the mantle because I can see the future, and maybe that's how this all needs to play out.
No, I don't think that happened.
What were Qui-Gon's
it's
dying
kinda cool.
words?
It definitely didn't happen. I don't like that headcanon.
What was the last thing Qui-Gon said?
He is the chosen one. You must train the boy. I can pull it up to be a little bit more direct, but it was right around that. He definitely says he is the chosen one.
Because that's kind of what I'm thinking too. And I think with those as your dying words, it's like, okay, maybe he knew something that Obi-Wan didn't. I mean, he knew something that everyone else did, and he was the only one who was advocating for Anakin Skywalker. So maybe in his meditation, he had a vision about Anakin.
He was the only one that knew he was the chosen one, yeah.
His last words were, "Make sure I drink 40 in a death basket."
Hannibal Buress reference.
Yeah, he says to Obi-Wan, "Promise me you will train the boy," and that he is the chosen one. I don't like that headcanon that he was looking into the future, because also Jedi can't really do that intentionally. It sort of just happens to them. But if someone was able to do it intentionally, it'd totally be Qui-Gon. But regardless, I still don't like it.
Yeah, I'm kind of formulating that off the top of my head, but I am going to be thinking about it. That's
Yeah,
excellent
same.
force for thought. I'm going to be thinking about it because I'm going to see if I can find a way to try to make myself convinced that that is my my headcanon.
Do you think he was just trying to clear his mind because he knows he was gonna fight Darth Maul by himself? Like he's just cool, calm, and collected. Like, do you think he's gonna?
Don't be such a nerd, dude.
I think that's definitely what he was doing, but I don't think it was the right move. He was fighting Darth Maul just fine with a cluttered mind before that, and then he clears his mind and gets stabbed.
I agree, but I think sometimes you psych
Maybe he
yourself
would have
out.
died
You know?
significantly sooner if he didn't declutter his mind.
Yeah, maybe he would have only lasted 3 seconds instead of 4.
Or the gate just like opens up and he just runs and slips and falls down the hole by himself.
Oh.
Let us know what you think. You can reach out to us on social media or email us at forceforthought@gmail.com.
Carson Teva, I bet he'll be in this movie.
Guaranteed the threat.
And I bet the movie will be good.
He's the Agent Coulson of Star Wars. See you, Sam.
He is.